Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to do a tarot reading, general, for any viewers for which it resonates. And I'm just going to drum for a minute or so to help clear the space and call in the helpful energies that will guide the reading. So take a few deep breaths and I'll start the drumming. So interestingly, when I was just drumming, I was hearing the drum at a way higher level than I normally do. I also don't normally do nighttime readings, so maybe the messages will be amplified tonight. Also, it could mean that some of you watching have been able to clear out some of the noise so that you can sense, see, hear more clearly. You might have been able to eliminate some sort of background noise, which might be making your other senses more clear. So let's see what messages want to come out for tonight. I'm asking for messages that will guide in our path, help with our health, well-being, growth, love, evolution. All right, let's see. We got quite a few there. I'll go in order. So 10 of Wands. I'm not paying attention to reversals right now because I'm just kind of randomly picking them up. 5 of Swords. And Knight of Wands. All right, let's see here. Okay, so this is an interesting energy. We're going to clarify with Santa Muerte. So the 10 of Wands symbolizes like carrying a big burden. But it's also a 10, so it's the end of this cycle as well. And then 5 of Swords, in this card, it's after a fight is over. And some people are walking away, and the others sort of like collecting his winnings, like they left the swords there for him to take. I'm just noticing on the card specifically it's talking about abusive relationships. And then the Knight of Wands is about movement. All of the Knights are, but the Knight of Wands in particular, with it being fiery energy, is a quicker movement than some of the other Knights. Okay, so let's clarify here. Let's clarify the... I'm actually getting a message not to use this deck. So I'm going to use... I don't know. Let's go ahead with the... I always forget what this one is called. Well, if you're interested, ask me in the comments and I'll put it in there. I think it's like the Wandering Star or something like that. All right, so let's clarify the 10 of Wands. Why is this here? What does it mean? Okay, I said I wasn't going to read reverse, but we got the Chariot in reverse. I'm going to put these back because it's like 10 cards. the Chariot in reverse would, yeah, signify like not being able to move, probably because this burden is so heavy. So there may be a change that is on its way to you that wasn't possible before, because when you're carrying a load that heavy, it's pretty hard to move. So Chariot in reverse, Chariot upright would be quick movement, moving forward at a rapid pace. But since we do have the Knight of Wands here, I'm getting that there is movement here. It might have been tough for you recently or in your past because of the Ten of Wands energy. For some reason, you were carrying a really big burden. I don't see anyone else in the card that was helping that person. And we have the Six of Wands. So this is triumph, victory. In the typical tarot, it's like a woman triumphant. Well, maybe not the traditional tarot, but the tarot that I am imagining right now, the one of the decks I have, it's like a woman triumphant on her horse. But in this case, it's an owl, so feminine energy. So definitely this Ten of Wands energy is not going to stick for too long because you have this triumphant energy. And maybe you just made it to the finish line. Maybe it was like a race where you just had to cross that finish line. Now, I don't mean like an actual race where you're moving fast, but I am envisioning like a finish line. Let's clarify the Five of Swords. Why is that here? I'm just looking around at what decks I have because this deck isn't feeling right anymore. Let's move over to the Light Seers Tarot. I know it's a lot of switching, but gotta go with what feels right. All right, Light Seers Tarot. Let's clarify the Five of Swords. Ooh, the Magician. Okay, so the Magician means concentration without effort. So see how she's concentrating, but the energy is effortlessly flowing. I'm not quite sure how that clarifies the Five of Swords, so I'm going to ask for another card. Did want to look at what was on the bottom of the deck because it was hard to pick up. The Eight of Cups would be walking away from something. And actually in that Five of Swords card, there's also people walking away. So this could mean that, in the act of walking away from a conflict, or honestly just giving up on something, it allows you to get more into that Magician energy. We also have the King of Cups and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So yeah, this King of Cups is very meditative. Definitely seems like someone to me that would just walk away if shit gets a little crazy. Let's see what these other two are. Ace of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm also getting a meditative energy with this Ace of Swords because see how her mind is connected to divine consciousness. And then this Queen of Pentacles is very much at peace. So, see, why was the Ace of Wands in reverse? The fighting energy, the conflict that you were or are dealing with might have prevented you from a new beginning, because the Ace of Wands would be a fiery new beginning. But yeah, definitely getting a meditative with the King of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. There is for sure a, let's just look at all these three together again. Plus the Magician. You just see how chill all of these people are, focused on their own well-being, their own connection to nature, to source, and not, worrying about fighting with this person. All right, let's clarify the Knight of Wands. So getting into this more energetic energy that's here. Why is the Knight of Wands here? It flipped here. Ooh, the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups represents like a happy family, positive emotional energy, relationships between people. So what I'm getting is that there is action and movement towards that happiness, which again is a much more peaceful energy than this conflict energy of the Five of Swords. So what is the purpose of this reading? Why are all of these messages coming out? The Moon in reverse. So the Moon can mean something mysterious is happening. I know I said I wasn't going to read reversals, but I guess I changed my mind. Let's actually clarify the Moon card with this Moon deck. So this reading is helping something come to light here. Maybe it's the need to walk away, to move into more of a meditative energy, to know that you have or are crossing the finish line with that Ten of Wands. I mean, sometimes it's a really long fucking road, honestly. And that Ten of Wands is heavy as hell. And it is possible to let it go. It is possible to walk away from drama. Huh. That's funny. Leave the past behind. Yep. It is definitely time to move into your future. Let's look at the so again, the Six of Wands representing victory, and in this case, a feminine energy, and the Knight of Wands. It's interesting because this is masculine to me and this is feminine. So I'm getting that you're able to move forward in wholeness. This is a victorious energy. This is a very movement-oriented energy. And then you have the Ten of Cups. You also had the Ace of Swords. Those are really positive. And practice gratitude. So what did carrying that burden teach you? Did it teach you your own strength? Did it teach you that you didn't have to carry it all alone, that you could have asked for help? Or maybe in the end you did ask for help? What did you learn about like walking away from conflict instead of needing to fight till the end? Let's see what else. Any advice for those watching this reading? Know your worth. Yep, sometimes we walk away because we know our worth and we don't have to prove it. It doesn't say prove your worth, it says know your worth. Ooh, I love that we're using the Moon deck and it's dark out. And we have the Dragon. He's gonna be with us for the readings. And then my welcome witches sign. All right. Yeah, know your worth. You don't need to prove your worth. And then keep your heart open is at the bottom. That makes sense with the Ten of Cups energy. All right, let's see if there's any last messages. I would like to, ooh, now I'm torn. This deck caught my eye earlier, Angels and Ancestors. But I also want to pull an angel card from. I'll leave these here in case I need to reference them. Yeah, so definitely leave the conflict behind. It's okay to walk away. You do not have to prove anything to those people. You can literally just know your own worth inside of you and move on. Leave the past behind, know your worth, and honor the journey. You might even be judging yourself like, God, why did I engage in this so long? Well, you just weren't ready. You weren't ready to leave yet, so that's okay. All right, what angels and ancestors can support these viewers? Air Guardian, shift your perception. And we did have the Ace of Swords, which is also an air card. Interesting that they both have this like brown color by their head too. It's an earthy color. So what do you need to shift your perception about? Is it that it's okay to not fight? Is it that it's okay to move on? What does this group of people watching need to shift their perception about? Okay, we got 2 cards here from the, I forget what this is called, Effortless in Grounding. There was another grounding card that I just saw on the bottom of another deck. So again, we have the Magician, concentration without effort, and here we have effortless. So shifting your perception, it doesn't have to be hard. So if you were in the 10 of Wands energy, or still are, where you're carrying all these heavy wands all by yourself, you need to shift your perception that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't. It might be some days, but it doesn't have to be. And then shifting your perception, we also got the Tree, so grounding. So even if you are, like, let's say you're the only adult in your household, or let's say you live with somebody else, but, they're not actually that helpful, you can draw power from Mother Nature. You can connect in and tap into the energy of the earth. So know that too, that you can also work towards more of an effortless energy by thinking about where else can you be getting energy. Because in this society, there's a lot of things that deplete our energy. So let's see what else we have from angels and ancestors. Great teacher. This reminds me of Jesus. Learn from spiritual experiences. And White Witch. Be the light. So these are both very uplifting energies. And look, you have the owl again. You have this feminine energy here, and that doesn't mean you have to be a woman, by the way. We all have masculine and feminine. Wow, I want to read those. So now I feel like the reading's shifting into when you realize that you don't have to be attached to those 10 wands, that burden you are carrying, and that you can detach from the drama of the fight. You can walk away from something. When you realize that, when you can leave the past behind, it opens up the possibility for you to actually become a spiritual teacher, or for you to be the light for others. So this isn't just about you. This is about you ascending so that you can help others around you evolve as well. Great teacher. Yep. Know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. This card was inspired by Jesus, who is one of the most widely acknowledged and loved spiritual teachers of all time. But there is a great teacher in every tradition, and this card represents the one to whom you feel closest, as well as the great teacher within. The teacher wears simple clothes to demonstrate that even if you live a simple life, it can be an incredibly spiritual one. He is surrounded by a sense of serenity and harmony because he has absolute trust in the higher power that moves through him. And the dove on the card represents receiving answers to prayers through signs and experiencing peace through joy. You have dedicated a lot of time, effort, and energy to understanding yourself and the world. You're having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. There's a chance that if you've been having any challenges recently, plus the Five of Swords, you've surmounted them and allowed them to be vehicles to lessons that are helping your spiritual connection. If you feel you've received messages from heaven or the universe recently, this card is confirmation that these have indeed been holy experiences. And then let's go to the White Witch. Remember, I said witches welcome. Where is the White Witch? Okay. Take the higher road. Okay, we're getting a lot of confirmation of the earlier messages. These are going to fall. Remember, this card was about walking away, giving up, giving in. Now this is telling us to take the higher road. The White Witch, it says, remove yourself from lower energy experiences. The White Witch card represents the maiden aspect of the triple goddess of paganism and modern Wicca. The maiden is a gentle, innocent, and pure aspect of the goddess, a loving soul who wants nothing but the best for the whole earth. Here she is joined by a horned owl, showing that she is willing to respect those with more wisdom and experience than she has, but she is also willing to trust what she feels to be right within. You are being reminded of the goodness within. No matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, that's interesting, you are being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring the light. So how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? So just because she's innocent doesn't mean she's not protecting herself. Just a second. How can you help the person that is being picked on, or are you the one guilty of causing drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to share. So I have recently experiencing a situation where I wasn't the cause of the drama, but by me processing it with others, I'm almost contributing to it. And I'm not saying not to process stuff with others, because that's important, but there is, I think, a point at which it's like, okay, what am I trying to say? Sometimes just letting something go can minimize the overall drama. And again, I'm not saying don't talk about it, don't process it. I'm just saying there's a spectrum there, right? Like endlessly telling other coworkers what this person did, or talking to your friends about crap that your partner did, like endless, even if you feel like you are justified in doing that, is endless, is too much. Not at all processing it and leaving it inside of you to fester, that's not good either. Now, if it truly doesn't bother you and you're just able to shake it off, you might not need to process it. But there's probably a healthy balance somewhere in the middle. I'm just asking for one last card to wrap up the reading. Oh, we got the King of Cups again. And the Ace of Pentacles. Oh my God. Guys. Oh, so we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. That's awesome. So the King of Cups is here twice. So with all of this letting go, moving on, being done carrying the burden, look at the energy you can embody. Just like this emotionally intelligent person who is chill. They are zen. Doesn't mean they never stand up for themselves. But he can definitely work on bigger issues, right? He's not going to be completely caught up in the drama. And the Ace of Pentacles is a new gift. It's a new seed. So please have trust that when you do this work, you will be rewarded. It's not just doing the work just to do the work. Like, you actually will be rewarded. And we have the Sun on the bottom of this deck, which, as we all know, the Sun is life. It's life force energy. So between the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun, this is really confirmation that this work is worth it. And look, we got the Moon in reverse again. That's the Moon in reverse twice, which, if we want to interpret it as the Sun upright, it's really a positive thing, this work. It really is. And I hope you can believe that, because it's true. It's very true. So much confirmation here with the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. We have the Ten of Cups, the Sun. I'm just going to end with one affirmation card. So one message for the viewers going into this week. I am a creator. Look at that. Yeah, and this is reminding me of the Magician card. So just remember that when you can step out of that, either the carrying of the burden or the fighting or the drama or the conflict, this creative energy, there's room for that. And you are the creator, and you can concentrate and produce without a ton of effort. It doesn't have to be the Ten of Wands. It doesn't have to be a burden. And if it is, you might not be working on your soul's calling, honestly. If it's feeling like a burden, at least I'm a strong believer right now that if it feels that hard, there's a difference between like good hard work and something just feeling like a fucking, like you're just trudging along. Like, oh God, I just have to get this done. And it's just taking forever. It's just taking so much of my energy, or I'm not having the motivation for it. I mean, obviously, to some degree, that's normal with any project. But if you're continuing to feel that way, that is not a good sign. You gotta move on. You don't have to, but as you can see here, the Magician energy awaits you, the Creator energy awaits you, the King of Cups, the meditative, the connected to something bigger, the being a teacher for others. All of those things await you. The not having to carry the load anymore, the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, a new gift. All these things await you, and you're probably already experiencing some of them. And you learned things. Remember, the other card that came out was Practice Gratitude. Like, you learned things. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. I keep saying the reading is over. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Giving and receiving. This will not be for nothing. You will receive. You will be able to give to others. This card is about like equal give and take. Okay, compare this to the freaking 10 of, did I put that back already? I might have put it back. Yeah, you know, the 10 of Wands, the one where they were carrying the burden. This is a much different energy than the 10 of Wands. Granted, these people don't look particularly self-sufficient, but that's not the focus here. The focus is you might be this person being able to provide for others. You might already be providing for others, but you might be even in an even better position to provide for others. Or when you're in need, you will have other people giving to you. You don't have to do it by yourself. Yeah, this is really beautiful. So the main message here is, if you still feel like you're carrying the burden, you're almost to the finish line. You might need to ask for help. You might need to just set it down. Or if you're in conflict with somebody, you honestly might just need to give up, give in, let them win. Fucking take it on the chest. Let it brush off your shoulders. Don't carry that weight on your back. And just fucking walk away, move on. You know what I mean? It's not every battle is worth fighting. And I needed to hear that. And sometimes you just got to give it a couple days, because sometimes it might feel like a battle worth fighting right away. And if you give it a little time, it might not. But again, remember what we talked about. It's not that you won't ever stand up for yourself. It's that you know how you want to use your energy. Because we got the King of Cups twice, and we got these. You know, ask yourself, what would the wise ones do? What would Jesus do? I know that, you know, became a whole saying, so it might just be like, haha, what would Jesus do? No, really. What would Jesus do? What would the wise ones do? Even if you don't feel like you have elders in your life, because many of us are so disconnected from that now, if you did have elders, what do you think they would tell you? Imagine you were actually being counseled by like the wise forest animals. What do you think they would tell you? What do you think if you were on your deathbed, looking back right now, what do you think you would tell you? What do you think your ancestors who have passed would tell you? Shit, I know they would tell me to go follow my dreams. Don't get hung up on the drama, the little shit. Don't take shit personally. Laugh with my loved ones. Have joy. Enjoy the moments. I took the kids to the Halloween store tonight. We had so much fun. I got my welcome witches sign. And then a week before that, I went and traded in an old Halloween costume. And I got this. Like, that brings me joy. Honestly. I don't know. I want to keep hanging out with you all. Does that make sense, though? Is that a moth in her hair, too? I'm not sure if it's a moth or a butterfly. But yeah, just think about how energy works, right? If your energy is being spent focusing on some shit that doesn't matter. Wow. Okay, I'm cleaning up the cards. And look, we got the 10 of Wands again. These just fell. I was just moving this deck. Yeah, when you're in the 10 of Wands energy, the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. The wheel cannot move. This is interesting. This guy, the 10 of Wands, is... I think I want to read that. I don't really have time, though. I need to move on here. Let me just real quick. I'm so curious about... From ashes to concrete, he toiled to build a foundation and can now relax. The 10 of Wands asks for you to question your stability. Do you feel complete? Does your space truly hold you? Are you still caulking the cracks in the foundation? Are you home? Built on blood, sweat, tears, and completion. So this is kind of showing the Ten of Wands energy like one step after the other Ten of Wands we saw where they were still carrying the burden. This is showing like, okay, I built the house, I'm in it, now what? But yeah, I think I was just asking, does this energy make sense? Does it resonate? Please leave a comment. Also, please subscribe. I would love to have anyone watching subscribe. Yeah, just remember what we talked about with energy. You know, if your energy is being spent on stupid shit, well, you're going to have a lot bigger need to be gaining more energy. Imagine if your energy is not spent on stupid shit, plus you're gaining energy from grounding practices and, you know, doing things that are good for your body. I mean, really, the sky is the limit, honestly. So what do you guys think about this message? I would love to hear what you think. Please leave a comment so I know. Is this helpful? Do you have requests? What do you want any other kinds of readings? Do you like the nighttime vibe? I can tell I'm in a little different energy now that it's nighttime. I kind of like it. Maybe I'll start recording at night. I am historically a night owl, so we have Justice on the bottom of that deck. Seer, see beyond the current situation. The Moon. Keep your heart open. Some of these we already read. The Hermit. I am happy. I love that. She's so pretty. See beyond the current situation and Justice. Yeah, if you're still carrying that Ten of Wands, it does not have to be that way. It will not be that way for long. And look here, this time we have the Wheel of Fortune upright. That means the wheel is turning. Things are changing. You don't have to carry that Ten of Wands for very long. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm glad you were here. Thank you for being here. I love doing this. So I know I was not posting as much in the last week. I just had a really busy week with work. But I'm back. So I hope you all have a beautiful night, a good rest of your week and weekend. And until next time, see you.